16. Beyond the Forgotten Pages. There's a book inside me, its pages bursting at the seams, heavy with expectation, the raw ink of life dripping from my fingers, words woven together from the pulses of my heart and the vibrations of my mind, sentences of essence, paragraphs of significance. There is a song on my lips, bursting at the corners of my radiant smiles, waiting impatiently to be set free, sung unto the heavens as sonic harmonies of hope, echoing the whispers of my deepest self. There is a dance in my loins and belly, its fire consuming the fibre of my being, tangos of passion and salsas of desire, not asking for permission or waiting for consent. Serendipitous waltzes to the drumming of foreign lands, always moving to the tune of the moment. In the rhythm of life, I find my voice, and my soul's deepest emotions resound. In an instant, all these must be captured before the ink seeps away, before the jingle fades into oblivion, and before the jazz of life dies at the feet of my intentions. Elmarie Arnold. Surprise and excitement wrestled for dominance as I marvelled at my own writing. I was once again at Christie's rooms, expressing my bewilderment and amazement at the impromptu little poem I wrote mere days before my scheduled appointment with her. This sparked our conversation, leading to my other unwritten words, my journals. 8 years had passed since I last wrote, and following Gurik's revelation in January 2005, I hadn't opened any of my 7 journals. At one point, I almost burned them, but a persistent small voice cautioned, "Don't. It will be a mistake." Something shifted during our session that day, prompting me to retrieve my journals that evening, hidden away in a corner of one of my desks. With trepidation, I opened the page where I'd written my first channeled message, a wave of nausea washing over me. The thought of rereading words penned in what felt like a previous life left me numb, paralyzed by dread and anxiety. But then, certain words jumped out at me, intriguing, compelling me to turn the page, and then the next, and the next. Due to the 8-year gap, I genuinely couldn't recall what I had written. So it felt like reading it for the first time, except for that familiar yet long-buried thrill. My heartbeat quickening, excitement catching in my throat, and a deep sense of connection to divinity. I was spellbound, unable to put the journals down. Seated in my cozy private office at the back of our property, far from Henny's presence, I devoured the pages till late that evening. At 3 a.m. the next morning, I rushed back to the office, eager to continue where I'd left off. Thankfully, Henny's medication ensured he slept soundly, unaware of my early morning escapades. This allowed me to indulge in my journals guilt-free, absorbing page after page, journal after journal. It suddenly dawned on me that what I had written was deeply personal prophetic, and divine. It wasn't a lie. It was truth, my truth, something that no one could ever take away from me. This profound realization ignited immense inspiration within me. For the next 3 weeks, I rose at 3 a.m. every morning to transcribe my journals, crafting a PDF document for seamless access and clarity. As I immersed myself in this process, the act of transcription became a sacred ritual. With each keystroke, my connection to the divine strengthened. I have been given a heavenly gift that I had neglected and cast aside. Relying solely on my mind and logic has caused me immense suffering. This approach is incomplete, for I had silenced the whispers of my essence. These words are etched on the tablet of my heart. They speak a language I know intimately, eternal, timeless, and universal. The anger, disillusionment, and self-punishment of the last 8 years are enough. It's over now. It's done. Move on. There's more, much more to come. Whispered the sacred voice inside me.